Hi guys, what's up? It's Alex here. Today we are here with Tom to talk about Red Bull's season's chances in 2016. Would you like to say hello?
Hello, my name's Tom, and yeah,
We're talking about Red Bull today. So we said quickly before we start recording, probably the best way to start this is by talking about the last two seasons for Red Bull because they haven't been very good. I guess you're a Red Bull fan, so I guess you've been following them quite closely over the last couple of years.
yeah, definitely.
So what do you think? What was the big, what was the biggest reason maybe you think that they suddenly went from four, as you said, four times champions to getting two or three wins in 2014 and then no wins in 2015?
Well, when you say that they won four championships in a row, that's because all the other teams couldn't keep up with the updates that they got, and
Yeah.
uh, was it 2013? Mercedes were developing an engine for the 2014 season with like the hybrid system,
hmm
so I think that's where most teams lost out because they weren't developing the engine for 2014 as
I
much as
suppose,
Mercedes were. Yeah.
yeah, and I suppose Red Bull didn't really have much of a choice in that, did they? Because it was Renault, wasn't it? So they
Yeah.
couldn't they didn't have first hand experience of how to change it. So they were always on the back foot. And I suppose even the Ferrari wasn't that bad. It still wasn't as good as the Mercedes, but yeah, it wasn't that bad. But the Renault definitely lagged behind. And what are they going with for 2016? So is it a Renault branded as Tag
I think so. I think that's what I've read from Sky. It seems a bit weird to have a watch company suddenly come into F1, but then again, you've got a drinks company, Red Bull,
Yeah, I
which
suppose. I
yeah,
suppose it's all part of the brand. I suppose if it's sort of Renault covering themselves in a way because I
mm,
suppose Christian Horner can't go out and attack a sponsor in a way, can he? Because he
yeah.
doesn't want to lose money. So I suppose it's sort of clever from Renault and from Red Bull's part. They both get money and all that sort of stuff. But how do you feel of the lineup of 2016? Do you think Kvyat and Ricciardo's the way to go?
Well, definitely Ricardo because he's been well, I wouldn't say flawless, but he's probably one of the best drivers out there in the top 10.
Yeah,
But Kvyat, I don't know. I have mixed opinions because he's a good driver, but there isn't anything about him that stands out. Like with Vettel, you see him winning some races because he's a good driver. I don't see anything special in Kvyat. I think that maybe if they got a new driver in to replace him, maybe not. Well, I suppose at the end of this year they probably could get a new driver, which would be good. But I don't know.
I suppose it's definitely for this season. Kvyat's got to prove himself. Last year, even though I quite like Kvyat as a driver, but I do feel that he got really lucky in the way he beat Ricciardo in the championship, didn't he?
Yeah,
But Ricciardo had a lot more DNFs,
yeah,
so I think they need to be based on a race to race sort of. If both of them finish two finishes in front of each other, that sort of thing. And at the end of the season, maybe even Ricciardo will leave at the end of the season if he gets an offer from Ferrari or something, which I've
yeah.
heard. Maybe there's this decision's made for Red Bull. Then I don't know. Would you put Verstappen in there?
That's the thing. I've really come to like Verstappen after his first season because obviously 2014 was Kvyat's first season and he
Hmm.
did good, but it wasn't like anything to stand out. And when you see Max Verstappen, and he hasn't won a race yet, obviously, but compared to what Kvyat did in 2014,
Yeah,
Max
it was pretty.
Verstappen's been the better driver of the two.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. I mean, there was it the two fourth places. You could say they were a bit lucky, but obviously you got to have a lot of skill as well to keep a car on the road.
Oh yeah,
The conditions were incredibly crazy, weren't they? It's Hungary and USA, was it? It's two fourth places, I think.
yeah, yeah,
So
because
that's
Hungary's where Hamilton messed up, wasn't it? And then uh, what was it?
Ricardo and
Australia.
Rosberg. Ricardo and
Yeah,
Rosberg crashed into each other and all that sort of stuff.
that was
But,
funny.
so what do you think for Red Bull this season? What do you think their realistic aims are? Do you think they can
Mm,
fight for podiums or?
Red Bull, I think probably. Oh, I'd say a few podiums, but maybe closer towards fifth or sixth per race. Look, if they're lucky. I don't think
So
that.
pretty, sorry, I was just say so pretty similar to maybe last season.
Yeah, I don't think they can improve too much with the Renault engine because the Renault engine wasn't really that good in a straight line last year. So that's where the Red Bull and Toro Rosso lost out.
Yeah, so do you think that Red Bull will be switching engine suppliers at the end of the year? Do you think, like, I mean, if obviously Renault do stick around, if Renault do stick around sort of as not a named company, do you think?
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see what Honda can pull off, because if they can get a good engine compared to last year, like, I don't know, maybe say equivalent to what Force India run. I don't know, do they use Mercedes engines or?
Yeah, they do.
So if they could match, say, the Force India's speed, then I think some teams might go with the Honda package, because when you look at Williams, they're always up there with the Mercedes, but they can't beat them because they've got like a lower grade engine compared to what Mercedes is running. So I don't know, I think changing engine suppliers would be good for them, because they haven't really done too well over the past couple of years.
I suppose it's going to be tough for Mercedes, because I suppose Force India sort of team where, like, I'm a fan of Force India, but I've got to be honest, ambitions aren't going to be to winning a championship most likely. Obviously, every team wants to do that, but they haven't got the budget. But
realistically, there's only 2 or 3 teams that can win the title.
Yeah, exactly. And I suppose Mercedes don't want to give an engine to another rival, so
no,
that's where it gets a bit tough, doesn't it? So, even though Renault are in as a team next year, they still might not be the best team with the Renault engine, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
I think the case.
I think it'll be interesting to see what they can pull off. So.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. Hopefully, it's just a good season in general. I mean, the whole season was not exactly crazy last year, was it?
No, it wasn't boring, but there was more problems this year with the engines than there was last year, which is a little bit confusing, because surely you'd think that the first season that they're in Formula One with the new engines,
will go wrong.
Yeah, but it didn't as much.
I'm not sure. It might be that maybe the teams have got to a limit and they're pushing maybe the limits of the engine. I don't know. Unless something just literally
distort. A while ago in the news there was talks about 1,000 horsepower engines, which is absurd.
Yeah. I mean, would you like to see sort of the return of the V8, or do you think the V6 is good Formula One?
I go to Silverstone every year. I've been for the past 4 years now, and you've noticed that compared to 2013, from 2013 into 2014, the engines are just, well, obviously everyone knows that they're quiet, but they don't sound as good. And you couldn't, when the car went past in 2013, you couldn't talk to the person next to you. You wouldn't be able to hear them. But this year, last year, sorry, it's been a little bit different. Like, you can hear them. So I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see, because they've said that the engines are going to be louder this year. So whether they are,
it was a big thing. I haven't actually ever been to a F1 race. I've been to a few test sessions, but yeah, I can assume it's a big part of the whole sort of thrill and excitement of it, isn't it? That crazy sound. But so if I just had to, you throw it out here right now, where do you think Red Bull would finish in the standings? Like, where do you think Ricciardo, Kvyat, and in the constructors as well?
I think Kvyat will probably come somewhere about 8th, but I think Ricciardo's the better driver of the two, so I'd like to see him probably 6th at a push, maybe 5th, because obviously you've got other teams to contest.
Oh yeah, definitely there's other teams, probably a bit more, or definitely a better engine at the moment. But so constructors 4th, 5th, sort of.
I think 6th is definitely something that they can get, but I think 5th is what they're going to try and work for. Obviously, work for first, but realistically, I think 5th is probably closer to what they can achieve. Yeah.
So, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up the video?
No.
Have you got a YouTube channel, or have you just got a Twitter?
I did have a YouTube channel, and I'm making a new one now. The link should be in the description of this video, because I haven't named it yet. But follow me on.
Just just send me well, I'll leave a link to Tom's Twitter, and then by then you might be able to see his YouTube channel as well.
Hope so.
So yeah, thank you, Tom. I appreciate you coming on and talking about Red Bull.
No problem. It's been a absolute pleasure, Alex.
Alright, so thanks guys for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It's been Alex and Tom out of here. Goodbye.
Bye.